episode of the How to Choose Happiness and Freedom Show. I'm your host, Lauren G. Foster, coming to you live from Flag Pond, Tennessee, where we're being happy first. All right, so this is our week on fear, and this is the day when I'm supposed to give you some activities that you can, homework, if you will, that you can use to address whatever our topic is for the week. And I just really couldn't come up with any kind of things about fear except for to do the work that we're always doing. Look at your life. Look at the things that you wanted to do that you didn't do. Look at the things that you wanted to accomplish, the places you wanted to go, and ask yourself why. And I guarantee that in there you will find fear. You were afraid of this, you were afraid of that, you were, and it might take some digging around, and it might take some thinking about, or the better thing to do is, what do I want to do next? And what's keeping me from doing it? And so living in the now instead of digging around in the muck of why you haven't done it already and, running the risk of judging and berating yourself. Instead, think about moving forward and then pay attention to where fear is coming into your life. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about fear and give you some examples from real life from yesterday. But first, I found this poem that I meant to share with you last week during the week on death, but it's just such a great poem that I wanted to share it with you today. It's called The Summer Day by Mary Oliver, and it goes like this. Who made the world? Who made the swan and the black bear? Who made the grasshopper? This grasshopper, the one who has flung herself out of the grass, the one who is eating sugar out of my hand, who is moving her jaws back and forth instead of up and down, who is gazing around with her enormous and complicated eyes. Now she lifts her pale forearms and thoroughly washes her face. Now she snaps her wings open and floats away. I don't know exactly what a prayer is. I do know how to pay attention, how to fall down into the grass, how to kneel in the grass, how to be idle and blessed, how to stroll through the fields, which is what I've been doing all day. Tell me, what else should I have done? Doesn't everything die at last and too soon? Tell me, what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life? I want to read this every day and be sure that whatever is going on, I'm relishing everything that is beautiful and wonderful and amazing that's happening in this moment. And there are always things, always, always. So no matter what seems to be going wrong, not a moral judgment, but more, and no matter how many things are unwanted in your life, there are going to be at least 10 matching ones that are wanted and that are worthy of appreciation and praise. And if you're putting your attention on those, then those are the things that are going to magnify. All right, so fear. Yesterday I am on a refining my self-care and movement and, really taking care of myself routines, which is including a mandatory walk every day, which, why in the world I would need to make myself do this, I don't know, because I love it. We have an amazing time out in the woods. My dogs go with me. Some collection of cats usually goes with us, and it's beautiful and amazing and awesome. So we were doing this yesterday, and little Dilly, my new orange cat, that's actually my sister's cat. I wonder if she's here with me today. She is. Sorry you're hearing this way, Michelle. Well, so he was on the hike with us, and we were, he's just so brave and bold and wonderful and such a cool little cat. And then my other cat, Donnie, who is very standoffish and, just doesn't participate in family outings ever, he decided to come along too. And so, I was kind of struggling with myself to micromanage these little creatures that have their own agenda and their own, things that they're wanting from this. For one thing, one of the dogs and one of the cats don't get along, and do I intervene? Do I let them do their own thing? What are my fears? What are my controlling type of issues there? So everything goes all great. And so there were my fears in there. No, so far I'm the only one that's afraid. And then we get back to the house, and I kind of wanted to go another quarter of a mile down to the mailbox, down to the road, where all of my packages are. And Dilly wanted to come. Well, we have this new neighborhood dog that chases cats, and I don't want Dilly to get it into his head that he can go near the road. And so I had all these fears. So I changed my mind about making that trip because Dilly wanted to come along. So I left him here. Well, lo and behold, later on in the day, my worst fears happened. The I have a neighbor that I don't want, and I don't want any neighbors. That's another story. And she has a new puppy who I love all puppies and all dogs, and he's awesome and amazing, but he chases cats. And he will have to be taught not to, or maybe he will never be taught not to. Again, that's another subject. My dog will still chase cats if he doesn't know them. But so this little dog chased Dilly up very, very high up in a tree. And this was, late in the afternoon, early evening yesterday. And when, I was trying to coax Dilly down from the tree and he started coming down forwards and just it was too steep for him and he lost his momentum and he fell from that tree and it terrified me. And he hit the ground and took off so fast that I couldn't even see where he went. And so I spent an hour searching for him outside and finally thought, well, maybe he went so fast that he made it into the house. And so I started searching inside the house and I found him underneath the bed, terrified, hiding, hiding, hiding. And, of course, I'm angry at the neighbor for not keeping her dog close. I'm just this is upsetting. This is my little baby. And I could see shining light on him under the bed that his nose was all bloodied. And I couldn't tell what other injuries he had from, it was a 20 or 25-foot fall. It was frightening and terrifying. So he eventually came out from under the bed and he went and got on my bed and waited for me and stayed right next to me all night long. And today, and he doesn't have any severe injuries just other than that to his face. He's, got 9 lives, I guess, and landed on his feet. But today is where the real fear lesson comes in. So he was afraid to go outside. And so I watched him. He would go, I have little cat doors in 3 of the windows in my little house. So um, they have lots of ways to get in and out of the house. And so I watched him going from window to window, looking out and looking to see where that dog was. And, and going upstairs and looking out of the bedroom door. And, you could see this little cat wanting to go outside, but afraid to go outside because he knew that dog could be out there, could be. And so just watching him assess what was going on and figuring out what he was going to do next was just really instructional and informative for our lesson today. So finally, they potty outside. So, I thought that at this point he's probably really needs to go outside. So I went outside with the dogs and then he got his courage up to come out while I was out there and he was still very hyper alert and paying attention. And then he came back in right away and then he would go out a little bit more. And so he faced his fear. He changed his behavior because now he's aware that dog is out there and could come after him. And so he's staying more to the back of the house so that he's got more warning to see if that dog is coming so he can hide or he can go somewhere else. So he's adapted his behavior to make himself as safe as he can, but he didn't let his fear keep him in the house. You see what I mean? So his fear is serving him because it's making him more cautious and aware of the very real and present danger out there. But at the same time, he's not allowing it to sabotage him and to dictate his decisions. He's a cat, and while they're brilliant and awesome and amazing and smart, they don't have near the mental capacity and the ability to make choices as we as human beings with these highly evolved brains do. So this is our choice about our fear. We can take the information that it gives us and use that to serve us, or we can let it paralyze us and keep us stuck and keep us living small and living in fear. So that's our lesson on fear for this week. So, you know what? I want to talk in the email that I sent out today. Oh, we're going to do a new thing. On Monday mornings, we're going to send out I haven't decided what it's going to be called yet. Maybe you want to help me figure out a name for it, but just an inspirational message to say hello, to give you something to build your week around, an inspirational thought, an idea of something, just your Monday morning motivator or something like that. So if you are interested in getting that each Monday morning, just go down and click on the link in this post. It's behappyfirst.org/newsletter. And that will get you on that list to get that email every Monday morning. And that will evolve as everything does to fit you and be of the most service to you as to how long it is, what kind of topics we talk about, and things like that. So get connected with us. Get connected and get involved with something bigger than yourself. And let's band together and make amazing change in the world. All right, so next week is our week on resentment. It's actually our week on forgiveness and, how we go about living our lives without, holding on to grudges and, you know, conditioned responses from our past. So that's going to be a worthy topic for next week. And in the meantime, I remind you to remember that happiness is a choice and you can always choose to be happy first. I'll see you Tuesday. Have a great weekend.